my fellow freaks and weirdos, I'm Tom and welcome to Monster Gab, where we love to talk about classic and vintage horror. And I'm on my way to Chester to watch Fritz Lang's Metropolis on the big screen. Now I know what you're thinking, this is a horror channel and Metropolis is more of a science fiction drama. But look, this is a classic, iconic masterpiece. A film from the silent era, originally released in 1927. How many opportunities am I going to get to watch this film in the cinema? And of course, I had to document it on this channel. Now, because it's a silent movie, it would traditionally have some kind of musical score. And tonight's showing does, but it's going to be a live musical score performed on a grand piano and percussions. I've got my ticket. I can't wait. Let's go to Chester. Hey horror fans, this video is sponsored by Zealous Rebellious Clothing, who believe in encouraging self-confidence, self-expression and the pursuit of passions without compromise. Based in North Wales, they use their passion for classic cars, music, film and societal non-conformity to inspire their designs, with hoodies, t-shirts, hats and much more, using only quality materials and prints. Be different, be rebellious. Zealous Rebellious Clothing. Check out their website, Facebook page and other socials, links in the description below. Metropolis. Perhaps more sci-fi than horror, but there's enough elements of horror in this movie that you could easily sell it as a horror film if you wanted to. There's a morbid story filled with chaos, tragedy and death, grisly scenes, some that even take place in gothic-looking catacombs, hallucinogenic-looking visuals that look like they were inspired by a nightmare, and a creepy-looking robot that's programmed for destruction. But it's not horror, it's science fiction, with stunning imagery and an influence to films that followed, Blade Runner being an obvious example. In the futuristic world of 2026, bear in mind, this movie was released in 1927, that's almost 100 years. The wealthy live in a utopia, while the poor work themselves to death in a grim underworld. Freda, one of the young, wealthy, privileged men of Metropolis, meets and falls for Maria, a beautiful young woman who is hell-bent on bringing justice to the underprivileged. When Freda follows Maria to the harsh world festering under the city, he decides to help her in restoring fair balance between the rich and the poor. But all is not so easy, and their attempts lead to conflict and anarchy. The movie was directed by Fritz Lang, and it's a wonderful piece of cinema history. You should do yourselves a favour and check it out if you haven't done so already. Due to its age and popularity, it's very easy to find. Hell, I'm pretty sure there are multiple uploads to YouTube free to watch. I've seen it a handful of times myself, but this is less about the movie or its story, and more about the cinematic experience. Watching such captivating visuals on a big cinema screen is a treat in itself, but sharing that experience with an audience who are of the same mind and share the same interest is truly wonderful. I guess the biggest feature though has to be the musical score, being performed live thanks to Jonny on grand piano and Trevor Bartlett on percussions. Currently the UK's leading silent film musicians, performing together since 2016. By the time I've released this video to YouTube, this experience will have been and gone, but I'm watching all of this at the Storyhouse in Chester, which is a quaint little cinema and theatre, as well as a library and a restaurant located in the heart of the city centre. Sadly, I don't have permission to film inside, and why would I want to? I'm here to enjoy the show, right? But that means I don't really have any content to show you. Look, I jumped in the car, grabbed my camera on the way, thinking there was an opportunity to document something, but I guess the only thing I can really document is my reaction after the movie. So I hope this is good enough for you. Wow, where do I begin? Well, first of all, I must have seen Metropolis 3, maybe 4 times in total. I think that was the 4th time I've ever seen that film, and I totally forgot how long the film was. It's got a running time of just over 2.5 hours, depending on which cut of the film, actually, because a lot of the footage actually got lost over time and then found and restored. There's even some footage still missing, but I think 2.5 hours is long enough. But still, it's a masterpiece regardless. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. But I think it was, like I said, the essence of being with other fans and enthusiasts. I mean, there was a rapturous applause at the end. And I think a lot of that was for the two musicians, and rightly so. But I think a lot of it was for the film too. And I think for some of the people in the audience, that was their first time watching the film too, which is what a way to see that film for the first time. What a way to experience it in a cinema with a group of people like that, with live musical accompaniment too. Just a real joyous experience. But I think the highlight has to be the two musicians, because, well, I had the opportunity to see this film a few years ago in the Lake District. I was there on holiday and I saw a poster for Metropolis at the cinema there in Bowness. And I was just a few days late. The poster was an old poster. I was just a few days late, and it said that the music was provided by a live musician playing on a Wurlitzer organ. And I just thought, oh, wow, I'd love to see that. And getting to see live accompaniment tonight, it just amplifies the experience to another level. I was very fortunate a couple of years ago to watch Return of the Jedi with a live orchestra, and that was magnificent. I mean, it had the hairs on the back of my neck standing on edge, and it was quite emotional in parts too. But they were performing the music as it was written, you know, the arrangement for the film. Whereas tonight's music was completely improvised, which is just phenomenal. But I tell you, Jonny Best was playing on grand piano, and he just captured every essence of the movie. Whatever emotion the movie was depicting, whether it was fear or anguish or love and romance or humour or sadness, he had a melody that just matched it perfectly, and it was just beautifully put together. But then there was Trevor Bartlett, who performed the percussions, and he just added the drama for the film. And even some of the sound effects too, because bear in mind, it's a silent movie, but the movie has machines in it, and quite often the percussion would make sounds that sounded like a machine or a ticking clock. There was even a door slam, which acted like a jump scare, actually, and many people in the audience jumped out of their seat, and it was fantastic. But what an experience, what a way to watch it, like I said, on the big screen with an audience who are just as enthusiastic as I was. Well, I just can't praise it enough. It was magnificent. Anyway, that's all we've got time for, folks. I'm really, really tired. It's quite late now. As you can imagine, it's dark outside. So I've got a bit of a drive home. Thank you so much for stopping by. Shall I do my bit? I don't know if I can be bothered. I'm a bit tired. Well, you'll be disappointed if I don't, won't you? I don't know who they are, but if you don't subscribe, they will get you. So make sure you are indeed subscribed. Click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new video here on Monster Gab. Like the video if you did indeed like it. Share this with your friends and leave a comment down there. Thank you so much for stopping by. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.